What is the scariest urban legend that has ever been told? That's what we're exploring today. So let's get started. Truck on the road. A man is driving down a deserted road, often in the countryside. When he sees a truck up ahead, he slows down and prepares to pass. But as he gets closer to the truck, he notices something odd. All of the windows are covered in what appear to be duct tape, and as he passes, he can see ghoulish figures moving inside. After he passes the truck, his gut tells him to turn around and go back, but he doesn't listen and drives on. Moments later, the feeling comes over him again and he turns around, but the road is empty. He drives back to town, shaken by what he saw, never to return to that spot. He tries to forget about it, but months later, the same thing happens. Again, he drives on, but is compelled to turn around. This time, he decides he won't ignore the feeling and goes back. And that's when he sees the truck again. This time, he doesn't pass it, but stops and climbs out of his car. As he approaches, he finds that the duct tape covering the windows is now covering the doors. He opens one and screams. Inside are rows upon rows of corpses. The legend varies somewhat in the details, but this story plays on our fear of isolation and the unknown, bringing to mind the isolated country roads we all know so well. While the story may have sprung from real-world horrors like the body trucks used during the Civil War, it persists because it allows us to explore our fears of mortality in a safe environment. The haunting of Hell House. A couple looking for a cheap home stumbles across a bargain. It's a large home in an exclusive area for an impossibly low price. But they soon discover why. The house is cursed. The moment they step inside, they begin experiencing strange occurrences. Objects flying across rooms, whispers in the walls, and ghostly apparitions. The house seems determined to rid itself of its new inhabitants. In some tellings, they are driven insane. In others, they disappear entirely. The legend of Hell House uses our greatest fears of isolation and the unknown to great effect. We all know the story of Hansel and Gretel, abandoned in a dark forest and hunted by a malevolent witch. And this tale speaks to that primal fear, offering a warning to those foolish enough to seek easy fortune. Alligators playing poker. Many years ago, before smartphones were popular, there was an internet craze. People began to post grainy pictures of alligators playing poker. The photos were bizarre, showing the reptiles holding cards and smoking cigars. But they were soon declared a hoax. But then another photo emerged, this one featuring a gorilla wearing sunglasses and holding a pair of dice. And suddenly everyone was asking, what's going on here? Is someone training animals to gamble? Are these trained animals running wild and addicted to gambling? Or is there something else going on? There was no concrete answer, but speculation ran wild. The story reflects our fascination with animals and what they might be doing when humans aren't around, but it also touches on our fear of the unknown. Hookman. A couple is parked in a secluded spot, listening to the radio and enjoying each other's company. Suddenly, the music is interrupted by a news bulletin about a serial killer who has escaped from prison. The killer was known to frequent this particular park. They decide to leave, but as they try to drive away, they hear a loud banging sound. They turn to each other, confused, and realize they are not alone. Slowly, the realization dawns on them. It's him, the killer, outside. He's trying to break into the car. They speed off, but the banging continues. They finally reach a police checkpoint and tell the officers what's happening. But the cops assume they are drunk and wave them on their way. They race home, locking themselves in, but the banging continues. Finally, the sun rises and the sounds stop. Relief floods through them. It was just a dream, until they look outside and find a hook hanging in their front yard. This legend taps into a raw fear of violence and helplessness. With the rise of serial killers in the media spotlight, this story warns us to protect ourselves and highlights the darkness that can lurk just beyond our sight. Alligators playing baseball. This one is a bit more lighthearted, even whimsical, but still has that undercurrent of the unknown. On a hot summer day, you're sitting on the porch watching the world go by. Suddenly, you notice a group of alligators playing baseball in a nearby swamp. At first, you think you're seeing things, but they keep playing until suddenly one of the gators swings at a home run and disappears into the water. Nobody knows exactly where the gator went, but many believe it swam off to find a juicy steak to eat. This story has many variants, and while it is intended to be humorous, it also underscores the strangeness of nature. Clown at the carnival. A couple attending a carnival fairground feels a rush of excitement and nostalgia. One half wants to test their luck at the various games and rides, while the other prefers to stick to watching. As the evening wears on, the mood shifts. They spot a creepy clown working at one of the booths. His makeup is grotesque, his movements are jerky, and his eyes seem blank. Suddenly, the clown locks eyes with them. They laugh it off. But later they notice he keeps appearing in their vicinity, his unsettling gaze following them. Fear starts to creep in, mingling with the carnival tunes. Was it just a coincidence? Had the clown recognized them? Was he following them? The legend of the evil clown preys on our primal fears of clowns, playing on the uncanny valley effect. Clowns are supposed to be funny, but something about them seems inherently wrong. And this story blends that unease with the thrill of a stalker movie. Alligators playing football. A group of friends is picnicking near a lake when they spot something unusual. A group of alligators is playing football, passing a ball around and scoring touchdowns. It is almost cute until the gators turn their heads and fix their beady eyes on the picnic basket. The friends start to panic, grabbing their belongings and running away. From that day on, none of them ever wanted to go anywhere near that lake again. This story, like the one with the baseball, underscores the strangeness of the natural world. Beware the hookmen. A young woman is in a parked car with her boyfriend when she feels a tap on the car. She tells her boyfriend to ignore it, but then the tapping becomes pounding. Her boyfriend leans out of the window to investigate, but only sees darkness. A man's voice calls out to him, "Get out and let me in." The couple is terrified, unsure of what to do. Then they hear chains dragging metal moans. Someone is outside the car, trying to break in. They slam the car into gear and speed away. This story is one of the most famous urban legends, and it feeds off our innate fear of the dark and the unknown. Bloody eye. You are alone in a crowded place. Perhaps you are at a concert or a party, when you notice a stranger staring at you. Their eyes are red, their face pale, and their demeanor unsettling. As the night progresses, you keep catching them watching you. You feel a growing sense of dread. Who are they? Do they know you? Why are they watching you? The story builds to a terrifying climax. You realize they aren't just watching you, they're waiting for something. And then it happens. They lunge at you, slashing you across the face with a sharp object. You feel searing pain as blood pours down your face. You look up at your attacker, and that's when you see it. The bloody eye. This legend plays on our fear of violence and the idea of losing control, making us hyper-vigilant of our surroundings and the people in them. Alligators playing basketball. Imagine walking along a riverbank on a lazy afternoon when you see a group of alligators playing basketball. They are surprisingly good at it, and one of them sinks a three. The gators cheer and take their positions for the next play. It's almost adorable until you realize that the alligators are staring directly at you. They want you to join their game. So should you accept their invitation and risk getting eaten alive? Or should you politely decline and hope they don't take it the wrong way? This story is less scary and more comical, poking fun at our tendency to anthropomorphize animals. Which brings us to the question, what is your favorite urban legend? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to check out these other videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.